Okay, so good evening and welcome to the 13th episode of the S Factor Talk Show. We are delighted to have you on board with us on this wonderful occasion. The S Factor Talk Show is all about discussing and deliberating vital issues with key influencers and like minded thought leaders towards a progressive and inclusive society. Sameera Fernandes is the director of Ecosol Global and a professional multitasker. Sameera is always high on life and loves to bring the community together towards positive interactions. She is a certified change management practitioner and also recipient of the Nirbhaya Award. Currently, she is a chairperson of the External Affairs External Committee of BCIC. Shekhar Vijayan wears multiple hats as the CEO of Shevins. He is an entertainer, author, actor, international speaker, radio jockey, mentor, coach, TV panelist, columnist, comedian, and advisor to the Indian Leadership Academy, and also curates customized workshops for children and adults on the success mindset. His only aim in life is to make his dog laugh. Over to the host, Shekhar Vijayan, to take this forward.
Thank you, Josh. That was quick and sharp, like you always are. Thanks, Josh. So Josh joins us, and it's been a very impressive past few days for him. So like Josh mentioned, I think that's what the S Factor Talk Show is about. It's about getting like-minded people, thought leaders, and influencers in one common platform on this virtual platform. Hopefully, if we go live, when the pandemic does not do what it has to do to us, we will all meet face to face. The advantage of this session is also that we get people from Delhi, like Mr. Vivek, who's trying to adjust his camera right now as we talk, and get him also on board. So, like I said, today is the 13th episode. It's been very interesting. We've had environmentalists, we've had thought leaders, we've had authors, we've had all kinds of people. And as we talk, we've got chefs today. We've got people who've got big Facebook groups and everything around it. And Sameera, over to you.
Yes, Sameera, what a beautiful day it is today to celebrate something so lovely on our 30th episode, all centered around a magical journey of food. And I think it's really important in today's age, not just personally, but professionally as well, because this is a basic need. And sorry, are we clear now? And also, this ensures that everything in the world moves in the direction to be healthy, happy, and hopeful of a brighter future for tomorrow. We have with us, I would like to say, the magical panel, because these are the people here, industry stalwarts, who are out here to share their experience on not just what they are doing professionally, but what are some of the relevant realities that they are facing. And, what is it that they are doing to look at this brightful future? So let's start by introducing our panelists. We have Aslam Gafoor, who is the general manager, luxury dining of Dineout. We have Raunak Kundu, who is the founder of Bangalore Foodies Club. We have Vivek Vaid, who is the founder of Food Advisors. We have Rajat Braganza, the founder of LAMARA. And we have Selvaraju, who is the executive chef of Vivanta by Taj. And, these diverse panelists coming together, sharing opinions from very different strata and segments creates new vibes in all that we do. Before we continue, I would like to quickly also acknowledge the contribution of our partners, Ecosol Globin, Shevins Entertainment, we have Boopalam Botanicals, Cicada Media, I Am Here, IJ Enablers, News Karnataka, Dew Dupont, Motherhood, Peppercoin, E-Transform, Sunshine Bakers, Elephant Marketing, Threadwork, who are here together to look at collaborating and creating great vibes in taking this forward. So without further ado, Shekhar, over to you. Shekhar,
thanks, Sameera. Thank you so much for yeah, you can hear me now, I'm sure. So thanks, Sameera. Thank you for introducing our wonderful panelists, who are all, like I believe, all versatile, very eclectic. Some of them I know very well. I know Raunak quite well. I know Chef Selvaraju sir very well. I've also known Vivek very well over the last few days. Now that gets us to our first question of the day, and this is a question I would love to ask. I would love to start with Raunak on this. Raunak, we know you handle the Bangalore Foodies Club, and not just that, you are an entrepreneur in your own right. You're a consultant and I know that you came back from Switzerland to come back to India and start doing your own thing out here back in India. And you have gone through a lot in the last few years. Now this pandemic has taught us a lot. Now, from your perspective, what is that magic potion which keeps this food industry alive?
First of all, thank you, Sameera. Thank you, Shekhar, for inviting me to this wonderful panel. Both Aslam, Vivek, Vivek I have never met in person, but I'm a great admirer of him. Aslam, of course, we bump into each other at least maybe twice a month. If there was not a pandemic, there would have been more events. And Chef Selvaraju, we are all a great fan of Chef Selvaraju.
Absolutely.
From his Taj MG Road days. And he brought in a lot of continental food to Bangalore, which was unknown and which was not done really well before he took over the reins. So, yeah, great to be in this kind of an esteemed panel. Regarding what gets us going, as we say that food industry, there are whenever there is a recession, there are two things that's a great indicator of the recession or in any kind of crisis. One is alcohol, food, and any kind of indulgences like chocolates, cosmetics. We have seen either their sales go up radically or squeeze for a certain time period, it shrinks, the market shrinks, or it just exponentially grows. And what we have seen over the last 1 year is that there has been an exponential growth in online food business. Okay, I must say that online food business has seen an exponential growth because of this multiple lockdowns and because of the eagerness of all our people to eat good food, eat variety, and of course, eat restaurant-like food at home. Now here I have a few things to say, but I would leave some of my thoughts regarding food aggregators for a later time. But first thing is that there are 2 or 3 trends that we are seeing now in the industry. First is that lot of homemakers, a lot of people who used to dish out fine food at home, they have suddenly got the encouragement or they have suddenly got the faith that they can commercialize their offering. So we see a large number of home chefs, large number of people who used to cook for their friends or family have suddenly turned commercial entrepreneurs. Okay, some are doing it on the weekend, some are doing it regularly. Some people have also a little bit of a nudge to start it because some people might have faced some kind of a professional setback, and then they have thought that, okay, this is a skill that I have, I can cook well, so let me reach out to a larger audience. So this is one trend that of course that is happening. Second trend that is happening is that, of course, the bigger brands, the larger brands who could weather this storm, they have successfully survived this, and they are now finding innovative ways to take their offerings. So whether it's barbecue in a box, feast in a box, brunch in a box, or ready to grill. Like I can give you so many examples. Marriott is doing something. One of our friend Aslam would know, Jagdish Menda is doing a grill in a box. A Barbecue Nation is doing the entire buffet in a box. So there are different offerings that bigger restaurants or bigger chains or bigger hotels are coming up with. And the third thing that is happening is in terms of technology, in terms of the whole experience. Now we have started, now dining is not only about food. When you go out to eat, it's a social thing. when you spend 5,000 rupees in a restaurant, in a fine restaurant, it's not only about fine food. Maybe your mom cooks better, or your wife cooks better, or you yourself cook better. But when you go to a restaurant, you go to socialize, you go to experience the service, you go to maybe meet new friends, meet older friends, and have a nice time, have a nice relaxation. It's like a day out. So people are finding innovative way, whether meeting over lunch over Zoom. I know one of our friend Kalyan, who is a very renowned food blogger in Mumbai. He has this breakfast with a friend. Great concept. Huh? So they have their own cup of coffee and their omelets, and then there is on the other side there is another friend whom they are meeting over a video call. But this is one part of technology. This is the other part of technology is there is a lot of food aggregators. Of course, we know the two big ones. One just got listed in the market, in the stock market. The other one is supposed to go public also very soon, what we hear. But apart from these two big aggregators, there are so many other players who are coming, not to challenge these two big aggregators, but also to provide a niche, also to provide a value proposition which is unique from others. Like I can tell you, I work with a company called FTH Daily. It's primarily a food and grocery supplier, where we are trying to list all the regional products which are made at home. So if somebody is a Maharashtrian pickle making at home in Bangalore, he has now a big audience whom he can serve to. So I will stop here for a moment. I will let others join into the conversation, and then I will pitch in about my thoughts about food aggregators.
So I think that was interesting insights that you shared, Raunak. And I would now like to ask Aslam. You've been in this food industry for so long, and when it comes to your expertise on this, where do you feel the industry stands at the moment, and what are maybe perhaps the top three things that we could all look at for its revival?
Hi again, and uh, uh, thank you for having me here. See, the thing is, currently the the food and beverage business is going through a huge turmoil, but that's not the only industry that's going through. But because we are all associated with it, particularly the people on this panel, we see it a little more closely than I think what we see with other industries. So that's the first part. The second part is that yes, there has been bloodshed and mayhem in the market. There is going to be players that will survive the tide, and some will fall by the way, and some will change hands. However, dining out is always going to be dining out or dining in. Now that's a new trend. Is always going to be evergreen because that's a basic need, of us all humans. We are social animals. We love going out. We love entertaining. And to answer your question, also to add to what Shekhar was asking earlier, see, food is an emotion, and whether you're eating your home food or even when you go out for a meal, you're going because you're fulfilling some need. But most often we are also celebrating something. We are meeting up with friends. It's a catch up over coffee and things like that. So to be honest with you, come what may, in terms of the troubled times that we go through, food is going to be there. I mean, the business of food will always be there.
Yeah.
And, even if there was no pandemic, the industry does go through its pangs anyway. There is a recession, we go all haywire. Then there is a demonetization, we go all crazy about it. And then there is the setback. There was a liquor ban, 500-meter liquor ban. And, restaurants went through extremely bad times, but no one predicted what we're going through now, because it kind of is a mother of all problems that we are going through in the last 1.5 years. So I think if we can tide this, which we will, there's no two ways about it, and it will become a blip in our memory in a few years from now. What we are going through is going to be a challenge. So what are the few things that I think you said we should keep in mind for the revival of the industry? So a couple of things that I think are very paramount today is number one is to um, actually show comfort and security to everybody. And I'm really talking about a situation where people are dining out more. So,
Yeah.
when somebody is either dining out or ordering in, to show that the food that they are going to engage with is safely made. It's a safe environment if they come to eat,
Yeah.
and also the cuisine is going to be something unique. So that's number one. The second thing is, I feel uh, F&B operators have to stay a lot more connected with the customer today, by keeping them updated on what exactly is going on the other side. So I think it's a very two-way engagement, and there is many ways to do that with it. The digital technology is the best technology to stay connected with your customer.
Yeah.
And the third thing, which I use the word technology, I think technology is going to play a huge role in the way we do business in the F&B world. And I'm not talking about robots cooking our food. I'm not about robots serving our food. It's about non-intrusive technology which works in the back. There is still a face to it. There's a customer who walks in, he has a face. There's a chef who cooks for that person, there's a face. The person who serves you has a face. So all that will stay good, but a lot of efficiencies will built in, because one of the things that this pandemic has taught us, that if we were operating at 100% expense, and currently in the last year and a half we had to maybe cut it by 40%, 50%, it showed that we could have actually worked more efficiently, which we had taken for granted. So I think costs are going to be very controlled, and technology will help us do that. So yeah, food is here to stay, and we will watch the three things that I said. There could be a couple of more, but these three are going to be paramount in terms of making sure the industry goes forward from strength to strength.
Thanks, Aslam. And I think those are good pointers for all those who are watching us and hearing, to see how can this industry be further revived. I would now like to go back to Vivek. Vivek, you've been, in this industry, diversification as a food advisor, and one of your objectives is to also integrate India as one through food, and you also have told us about, how you have this food advisor shop, which is a platform for home-owned entrepreneurs to open shops without further hidden cost and other things, and it's going to be the mother of food apps. So my question to you is, you have a lot of innovation and creativity up your sleeve. What is your advice to our community, out there, and what are the avenues for collaboration to take this moment that you're heading forward? We can't hear you. If you can unmute yourself, Vivek.
Okay,
Yeah,
here I go. Here we go. I'm
lovely.
sorry. Namaskar. My wife was just asking me, "Aapka number kab aayega? When am I going to speak?" So thank you, Shekhar. Thanks, Sameera and Gafoor Saab. Yes, that's stalwarts and Raunak. Yes, we haven't met, but we know each other for the last 7 to 8 years. Um, we all belong to the foodie community of Bukas. We're all hungry for food. We are living food. That's what is common between all of us. I don't know whether I'll answer your question or not, but this pandemic has taught us huge things, some bad, some good, some new, some old. Packaging has improved. I'm a customer engagement specialist. So when I run this group of only 26,000 people, my job was to engage with these people and keep them alive throughout the pandemic, so that they divert their minds and talk about food and get healthier, and look at a positive side of life. So food is an angle that makes you look positively in life, right? Earlier, when the pandemic started, I was advising people on how that new entrants are going to come into this business and it's going to be back again. This time it has confused us all. The fear factor. Why do we go out, as everybody said, is the experience? We go out to eat for an experience. Like maybe an environment, maybe the ambience, maybe everything with friends. Right? It's the experience that we go out for. Today, I'm scared. Gafoor Saab is facing the biggest challenge, where he has to push his Dineout passport coupons to people, force them to come out and eat in an environment where I'm scared to go out and eat. It's going to take a while. I'm being honest with you. Today, the magic potion, we are all looking for the magic potion for the industry to revive. It's not only food, it's hospitality on its own, including airlines, including hotels, restaurants. This, okay, everybody, Raunak said so many people have come into the industry about all these online deliveries, etc. Cloud kitchens, suddenly every house is a cloud kitchen over here. How many do you trust? Honestly speaking, I won't dive into an unknown source, and I need to know where I'm ordering food from. Engagement over here is getting people back to the restaurants. I don't know whether discounts are going to work or not, but sure. Look, another thing I must tell you, FSSAI always had the sanitization factor in the part of the licensing. Everything was there already. So today, a restaurant saying that I've got vaccinated, how does it protect me from eating out? How does it make my dining out experience safe? So it's a very big challenge. There was a time where I want food used to attract customers in to a restaurant. Now it is safety, which is primarily how clean the environment is, how much the cost is the owner is he involved in the hygiene of the restaurant. All these factors are coming into play. But online models like us, like Facebook, we are trying to engage with people to tell them to share experiences, to build that trust back into the market, to go out, step out and eat. Honestly, Sameera, Shekhar, I am confused and I'm zapped. I'm tired. It is scary. It is scary. Ask Gafoor Saab, ask Raunak, how many chefs, how many restaurants, how many people have come to the road because of this pandemic?
Yeah.
We are working extra overtime for them to survive. The people unemployed, it's a very big challenge. The customer right now is not the concern, it's the team, it's the backbone of the industry, of the food industry, which is the concern.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm answering your question or not, but this is what I feel.
It's reality, and I think that is what we need to know, So a great point, Vivek. And over to you, Shekhar. Yeah.
Thanks, Sameera. Now, as Vivek was talking about the entire experience, I know it's been very emotional and trying experience for everybody. Now, we've also got Rajat here. Rajat was stuck in traffic, the famous traffic of Bangalore, even during lockdown, that is. Rajat, first up, thanks for the cake.
Okay. Oh, my pleasure.
Oh, I didn't get the cake. Sameera got it, but still, thanks for the cake. I'm just putting my leg.
So, thank you. I'm so happy that you liked it. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you well.
Okay. So, I mean, I couldn't even get the chance to stop at home. So I've stopped at another cafe by the side because there was just too much traffic to get home. So I said, okay, let me just stop by the side and finish off the call here.
Rajat, we might just get a thumbs up from all the panelists if we send everybody a cake right now. I'm just telling you. But Rajat, on a more serious note, we've been talking about the magic in the food industry, and I believe all of you are magicians in more ways than one, because you feed the body and the soul in all your ways. Now, if you could do all this all over again, would you change anything, Rajat?
I mean, see, I think personally, from my own experience, I've been someone who's worked a lot in the online food space. So, and I've been working in the online food space for probably the last 3 to 4 years. And so I was chef of a brand called Amintiri, which is still around in Bangalore. And I mean, yes, the pandemic was hard initially, but then things did pick up, especially for people who had positioned themselves primarily as online brands. So for people who had cafes, walk-in seated restaurants and dine-in restaurants, yes, times were harder than ever. But I think for a lot of online brands, and yes, in this case, I am speaking for myself, that there was quite a bit of optimism, even when the pandemic had started, because there were brands that, to a lot of new brands, it really leveled the playing field. And a lot of brands who were at their peak and a lot of brands that were suffering, all of a sudden, everything was everyone was at a level playing field. And I think it gave a lot of brands, new brands, an opportunity to maybe come out of their shell and try and start new things. So I think it's definitely shattering to the food industry what the pandemic has done. But I feel like there are some brands that were able to capitalize on these things by, focusing on hygiene, putting across some of the ways that they've, looked after, let's say, hygiene in their kitchens, and actually managed to see some light at the end of the tunnel in some ways during this pandemic. So
Thanks, Rajat. Rajat, our topic for today is magic in the food industry. And as you talk about magic is being created right now because we got Chef Selvaraju who's joining us. And he's actually creating something in front of you, in front of everybody else right now. Hello, sir. So nice to see you.
Yes, welcome to the SFactor. Absolutely delighted to have you with us.
I think we'll have to unmute Chef Selvaraju. Sir, you'll have to unmute yourself. Unfortunately, the mute and unmute button doesn't need magic.
Let him cook.
Yeah. So a quick question to you all. Yeah. Before we continue with the discussion, you all have been in this industry. If there is one food, one dish that you would like to have, for whatever reason, for its flavor, taste, or maybe it reminds you of someone, what would that dish be? Shekhar, let's start with you.
I would love anything with eggs. Anything with eggs.
Okay.
You can bribe me with eggs. Eggs is one currency I'll work for anytime. Eggs is my weakness and my
proteins.
Proteins, yeah. Eggs all the time.
Aslam,
The most underrated food of India is khichdi, and I think that I'm sure not just for me, but for a lot of people, it's the most comfort food after anything that you want to have it with, and there are variations of it.
Aslam Saab, Uri Baba, aaj ka paper mein, in Hindustan Times, there were 21 varieties of khichdi.
Exactly. So
I've been under a state of shock since morning.
So the thing is, that is my comfort food, and there are variations of it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Vivek, what's yours?
Mine right now, at the moment, is Golgappas.
Wow.
I'm dying to eat them because that's street food. I'm scared to eat, but I'm dying to eat Golgappas right now.
So, when you say Golgappas, is it the Golgappa with tequila shots or just Golgappa with...
now we're talking...
Or like Raunak would say, puchkas.
The Golgappa, the street.
The authentic one, Shekhar. That's
the authentic one.
Yeah, Rajat, apart from
so for me,
tasty cakes,
I would say my biggest comfort food is probably dosa, and not the proper Kannadiga style dosa, not the Tamilian variant. Definitely the Kannadiga style masala dosa.
Beautiful. Raunak, how about you?
I'm a Aam Aadmi, so I go with Aam Aadmi choice, that is biryani.
Raunak is playing it safe, man.
And I love all kinds of biryani. I love Hyderabadi biryani, Awadhi biryani, Kolkata biryani, Donne biryani. You give me any kind of biryani, I just love biryani.
Chef Saab is finished cooking. Chef Saab is finished cooking. What's he cooking?
Chef Selvaraju, if you can unmute yourself. Sir, if you can unmute yourself.
So you might need to,
So excited. Chef Selvaraju, if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I think he's unmuted. Yeah.
Oh,
there he's done.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Chef.
Hi. Go ahead. Nice to catch up with you all this afternoon.
Welcome to the SFactor and glad to have you. A quick question, Chef Selvaraju. What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food, my mom cooking.
Maa ka khana, maa ke haath ka khana.
Correct.
So what have you been cooking there? You've shown us something absolutely fantastic.
Oh, this is one of my guests who's sitting here.
Okay.
And eating my brain last 2 days. So he wanted to have some prawns with unique way of my style. So I said, okay, I had some nice, fresh prawns from the, I'm in Bhubaneswar now. So we got some coastal prawns, fresh prawns,
Wow.
and
Wow.
tossed with a nice tarragon. Tarragon, I love tarragon, fresh tarragon. There's plenty of available here. And tossed with little olive oil, extra virgin olive oil and garlic. That's all, nothing else.
Joshua, are you feeling hungry?
He's
Yes.
killing us. He's killing us. Chef
I'm
is
dreaming
killing
of
us.
So, Chef Selvaraju, can you just quickly tell us what is the secret to your success? Because everyone who's interacted with you and heard about you and also tasted your preparations tell us that everything you do is simply outstanding. Can you tell us what is the secret, success behind everything that you do?
Okay. See, when I completed my, the catering technology at Chennai IHM way back 1985, so I got an opportunity to join with Taj Guba Hotel. So we started my career. My guru, which means my, chef who used to be my mentor, my whole and soul, whatever. And I learned each and every dishes from him
Okay.
during my tender age, from a normal village to we have moved to Chennai, entire family, because of my, learning part. And it was unbelievable from there onwards. I moved step by step, got an opportunity to work with some of the top chefs from all over the country, all over the world. Also to study at Culinary Institute of America for some time to bring back, my culinary style. So it's all because of my success with working together with various chefs. That is where I picked up a lot of recipes, secret recipe. And one thing I don't do, that I don't do shortcut. And if I don't have ingredient, I don't touch my cooking. Right ingredients. That's the basic things. If I have that all the ingredients in my hand, then I will do my cooking. That's how. The same thing goes to my people who's working under me. They also follow the same thing. That is why we never failed any of my restaurant or the food taste till today. Everyone loved it.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful
Thank
to
you.
hear this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And so nice to see you joining in from Bhubaneswar. Sameera, I must tell you this. Chef Selvaraju is a very kind person. When I'm saying kind, he's very kind with his time, and I don't know whether he's very kind with his recipes, but he's very kind with his time. And the fact that he's out there in Bhubaneswar, making something live and talking to us, I think it's really a big deal. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
But sir, I want to ask you this, sir. In your long and checkered career, sir, you must have created the best and the worst dish. Is there something which is your best dish? I know for a fact you like baby corn. I remember you told me this once, baby corn or bangan. I'm not sure which one it is. I hope the options have changed. But sir, from your perspective, which is the best dish you've created and which is the worst dish you've created?
Oh, you're asking the mother, who's your best son, who's your worst son? Is that correct, Vijay? Shekhar? It's like that. I don't have. If I produce, I'm be honest with you. I never come across worst food till today. I'm not saying that I produce all the best, food, but the comments from the customer I get, that is where my strength goes up. When they taste the food and they give me the feedback, chef, how do you make such a unique dish? And we just arrived not even half an hour back. That's how. I don't have anything else to say that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You
And
just spoke.
there are people. There are some of the top senior delegate whoever around the world. I had cooked food for everybody. In my experience, Bill Clinton, those days. I worked in so many countries: Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius. During the Sri Lankan time, there was a time we had the tsunami. I was right in the hotel in front. We all got it literally worried about what will happen, but nothing. But we have everything, ingredients are available, so we managed to put all the dishes. It was on the, I think, New Year time, Christmas time, so it went everything successful. That is where my food strength.
Thank you, sir. So, and for everybody who are on this, on this platform,
Shekhar,
Yeah.
Shek-
Yes, Vivek ji.
Shekhar, you're asking which is the best dish to order over here in a restaurant on the menu. You can't never ask a chef which is your best and your worst dish. Never make this mistake asking a chef. It's like going to a restaurant saying, "Bhai sahab, but सबसे बढ़िया dish कौन सी है, सबसे गंदी dish कौन सी है?"
Yeah, Haji.
I'm telling you, you're going to be off the chef's database. He will never call you.
No, I am on a speed dial. Don't worry about that.
On the most
So I'll just change the question here a bit. Now, Vivek ji, now you spoke about dishes. If there was a chance for you to dine with a fictional character, who would you want to dine with? Like, I would love to dine with Tintin.
If I had choice to dine with whom?
With a fictional character, somebody you have read about, like say an Asterix, would be a Tintin.
Julia. Yeah, boy, Julia Roberts.
Okay.
That's it, not picture, she's real. No.
Aslam ji, what about you?
Did you ask me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I got to really raise my mind because just pick up any of the comic characters because they won't eat and I'll just do all the eating.
So somebody like a Jim Carrey?
Yeah, not Jim Carrey, but I'll go more inane, which is Superman maybe.
That's nice. And he could also fly away.
Yes, exactly.
Raunak, what about you?
So I'm a little philosophical in this right now because I would rather go out with any of my friend and eat with a group of friends, have a relaxed lunch, wine, dine in a restaurant of my choice. That itself is a big dream right now. So,
I know. Actually.
Forget about a fictional character. I would love to go on a lunch with Vivek and Aslam and you.
I swear.
And have a nice, relaxed afternoon.
I think the way things are, we are all becoming fictional characters very soon. The way the pandemic is.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Rajat, what about you? Your mom is listening to you, by the way.
Shucks. Okay, so I need to be on my.
No, I'm just pulling your leg. Yeah.
So I would probably say Sherlock Holmes.
Nice.
Suspense.
Sameera, what about you?
I think it would be Hitler because I'll ensure that he speaks and does the ordering while I do the eating.
You do Achtung baby, yeah?
What about you, Shekhar?
Yeah.
I would love to dine with Asterix and get that
Obelix.
magic potion.
Not Obelix.
Not Obelix. Obelix in the past. Thanks, Sameera. Yeah.
I wanted to say Raj Kundra, but then I thought just
Now the real Raunak is coming out. Half an hour into this
Out for some investigation soon, so take
Absolutely.
it after the show. Well, just a quick question to you all, and if you could answer with one single sentence or a point. You know, the lockdown has taught us a lot of important lessons. But what is the one lesson that you have learned professionally which relates to the food industry in your own way and in your own experience and perspective? I would like to start by asking Vivek.
Oh, very simple. I'm glad you asked me. There is one rule which I always stick with. Before the pandemic, before I got into food business, is your database. I've been after restaurants, everybody to maintain databases. 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your customers. Please play on this damn thing. Today, I cannot get any new customer to step into my restaurant, but at least I can get the old customers to come back to me. Only if my database of customers was ready. This is the core of survival today.
Vivek, it sounds like music to my ears.
Absolutely, it is. Nobody listens.
Yes.
I've been going mad to restaurants, boys. Database do.
Restaurant owners don't understand what a big mistake they have done by let go their customer database to these food aggregators.
Yeah.
Trust me.
The biggest, it's like, I can't even take that language.
Raunak, Sameera, I'm a consultant to 8 banks in India, and my job is customer engagement. The first thing we do is grab databases. If you don't know who a known thief is better than an unknown thief. The 80%, 20% rule applies to every business.
And without a CRM, how can you survive?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it. So that's
Absolutely.
my mantra.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Aslam, how about you? What are your thoughts?
So one of the things that I think this pandemic has taught us, it's a bit somber, is that to cherish every moment. I think like what Raunak just echoed a little while back about dining with us. That's become such a distant dream in terms of in this food business, where the simple act of independently at free will getting up and calling a friend or family member and saying let's meet up, we need to think twice whether we can even step out. So I think that introspection and that freedom is what I think we need to bring back to dining out or dining with someone.
Trust. Yeah.
Raunak? Yeah.
I'm going to take up from where Vivek left, and the food aggregators are doing a bigger disservice to the industry than helping the industry. So first of all, they initially what they were doing is they were accumulating the database, customer database. Now they have started working on the customer database and have started their own cloud kitchens. Second thing is that what we will get after a few years is hopefully not is that more of the same. You don't want already Bangalore. Like I said, I love biryani, but it's not that whenever I want to go out, I want to eat only biryani. I want diversity in my palate. And more of these food aggregators, since they are seeing that there is a trend, they are doing all this analytics and all this AIML and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They're putting their money more and more where the orders are coming from. They are setting up this huge.
Rana, why only food aggregators? What has happened to MasterCard? It's been banned because all data was going everywhere. Amazon, why did they launch its own brand?
No, at least there is duplication of data. At least the restaurants also have it. They also have it.
Yep.
Yes.
Here,
Yes,
the problem
exactly.
in the food aggregators, the restaurants don't have it, and the food aggregators have it. So any
That's
brand
right.
today, if there is Rajat is the only restaurateur in this panel, but if there is a restaurateur who is listening to this, they should, if they want to build a brand, they have to build a direct to customer model.
Absolutely.
They cannot solely survive on the aggregators.
Yes.
Aggregator can be a brand building exercise for a short while if they have a short-term goal. But if you have a longer-term goal for your brand, if you think a product can cut ice in the market, then you have to have a direct-to-customer model, whether it's takeaway, delivery, dine-in, whatever is that. You should have a database, you should have a CRM, you should talk direct to your customer, you should know your customer's preferences. You need to have this data all in-house. That's when you survive.
They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
It's just a poor game. Some of these cloud kitchens and people who are taking the shortcut, they will get the revenue, but they will never see the profits.
Never.
Yes.
Chef Selvaraju, you have the same customers coming in and complimenting you on everything that you do and trying out different food? Sorry, I think we've lost him. Rajat, let me ask you the same question.
Yeah.
You have started this lovely business.
Yes.
Who are your customers?
So I have to say I just cannot agree more with Mr. Vivek and Raunak that I read in this one book called Front of the House where they say the two pillars of the food industry is your product and then your customer relation. And I think one thing that aggregators have done is removed interpersonal relationships between brands and their customers. And it's such an important thing when it comes to creating longevity and creating long-term business. Swiggy and Zomato have really, removed communications between customers and restaurant owners and restaurants. So I would say definitely again having a CRM, having direct to customer business, which is exactly the model LAMARA is as well, is extremely critical if you want to build something that is long term. And I would also say one other really important thing to sort of sum it up is to invest in tech, and invest in tech where you don't have to be present at the business for it to run. You don't have to be stuck in firefighting. You invest in tech, and you'll get your returns back in due course of time. Yes, you need to put in a little more money up front, but investing in tech in today's day and age, I think is critical.
So Rajat, when you say invest in tech means what?
Yes. I mean, when I say invest in tech, I mean invest in a good CRM, invest in a good backend, in a good backend software that manages your business.
You know,
So
you're talking of an industry which is drowning.
That will also help. People don't even have an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping this in mind, Shekhar, Sameera, may I ask Gafoor Saab a question?
Please go ahead.
Sure. Go for it.
Gafoor Saab, you run this Dineout program, which is like a discounting program or pretty popular. Are these discounts helping people come back to restaurants?
See, the discounts are more about discovery. It's then like if I was going to X restaurant and I want to try Y restaurant, that discount actually helps me make that attempt, because I will get some price off and attempt to go to a restaurant where the bill may be higher and I will get some remedy out of it. So I think one of the objectives Dineout has is to make people discover restaurants, because we are not in the delivery space, but we are more in the discovery space that I was mentioning earlier. And once that happens, then we are also giving them some incentive to actually step into that restaurant. So we have quite a few initiatives. Discount is one of them. We also have our own payment system called Dineout Pay, and there are some benefits people will get when they.
But sir, is this valid after the pandemic in today's time? Do you think if somebody gives me a 25 or a 30% discount, will I make an effort to go there?
Yeah, people are dining. I mean, I was just at a hotel this afternoon and it was packed. So
what the heck? But look at Hyatt, look at Taj, they're all delivering food now. The Hyatt,
but that's
throughout the week a 50% off.
Yeah, see, that is I mean, we can debate this endlessly, but I guess, see what has happened. Let me just put it in a perspective. See, what has happened is we have gone through hell, and like I was telling earlier, and like you only rightly said, that we have to show some sort of a motivation for people to come back to restaurants or at least order out. But in the face of lower footfalls, because people are very worried to be going out and dining because they're not safe, restaurants are trying to come to your home. And that is one of the reasons also cloud kitchens have become a very popular thing today as a business model. And people are creating brands where they will bring food home. But at the same time, how do you attract people to all this? Because there was a time when people were not even willing to take a packet from a food aggregator that came to your house. They said, please leave it somewhere near the security, and they would spray it with antiseptic before they took it. So there's a lot of this uncertainty that's going around. And a restaurant here, as you know very closely, because Raunak and you particularly work with them, they are going through hell. I mean, the cash flows are just so minimal that they want to attempt whatever they could before they get shut shop.
Agree with you.
So I think, it's not just one remedy of a discount. It's a collective approach of incentivizing a customer. It's about showing them what they are doing. It's about, in terms of what the cuisine that is being offered. It's also about showing the fact that, it's a safe place to get something from or to go to. So
the we care attitude. Yeah.
I am a customer of Dineout, so I can tell you Dineout stands out little different in this place is because they offer me curated restaurants.
That's right.
So that's the most valuable thing for me. So when I go to a platform, if there are hundreds and 200s of these unknown places, rather than I know that these 10 places which are curated and these are top-notch restaurants where I get a 20% discount, of course, there is an incentive for me to go out and go.
Exactly.
So I know JW Marriott serves great food. And whenever I'm dining in JW Marriott, I'm using Dineout. So it's like that connect.
So
that's it. That's all I want.
And I just want to turn your focus to something that has come up on the chat by Nirmala Mahajan, who talks about the food delivery model of Zomato and Dunzo. But I'm going to stray a bit. And my question to you all, please listen very carefully because I'm going to repeat it only once. The question is, Do hotels and restaurants need to enhance their relationship with their customers, or can they outsource the relationship building to apps like Zomato, Dunzo, Swiggy, and they do the relationship building, and restaurants just, produce and create food and, keep that ready? So once again, my question is, moving, ahead, do hotels and restaurants really need to spend time enhancing their relationship with the customers, or while they produce great food and curate great recipes, and can they leave the relationship building to apps and other service providers? I want to start by asking this hot question to Vivek.
I knew it. I knew it. You're going to target me.
Vivek, you're always on the line of fire,
No, ma'am, it's very
You're an
simple.
advisor.
It's like a stepchild behavior. You can outsource delivery because it's not personalized, where there's no interaction with the customer, but you cannot outsource the experience. I cannot believe Zomato or somebody talking on my behalf. Can you talk on my behalf? Can you sell me on your behalf? You can't. It's food. It's my food which is going to talk. So it's very personal. Ask Rajat. He's a baker. He'll tell you. I can't have anybody else talking about how my cake is. He can't even trust a second chef making his cake. He's that scared. Ask Chef Selvaraju. Can anybody else copy his dish and make it? No, it is personal. It is his relationship. Why do people go back to the chef again and again? It's his own relationship.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
100%. It's all about your relationship.
So it is the next question, please.
Why is that relationship important? Because I, as a customer, can go to Zomato, and if there's a rating of 4.8 on a specific hotel, I might as well trust that rating of Zomato and then fire them if it's not good. So Rajat, tell me why relationship building is important to you.
See, I think when it comes to restaurateurs and their customers are people who are really dear to them. Okay. And I don't know if we're at a stage where we can necessarily trust aggregators with handling our customer relationships, because just going basically based on their history, them of aggregators opening competitor brands, when really their job is to sort of support restaurants in what they do and not open competitor brands. So for me, I think that's one reason why I probably don't think
Raunak?
It's something that can be trusted aggregators.
It depends on your objective. Okay, if you want to be a factory model where you want to churn out large volumes and your focus is mainly on production, your focus is mainly on getting volumes out, but not getting something niche, not making something gourmet, not making something custom made. If that's not the focus, if yours is like a factory line, then of course you can outsource the relationship. Then you just focus on the low margin core operations.
Yeah.
You are making masala pastes.
Bilkul theek bol rahe ho, Raunak is saying the right thing. What I would add to this is, it's like giving 10 bloggers your data, a note to write for you.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like doing mass advertising. It's like,
so that is first part of it. Second part of it is that where is the margin game? Where is the real margin? If you are only focused on production, then your margin is, you will have to play with those 5% and 8% of margin. If you're only focused on production and shop floor. But think of the ideal case study for me is Domino's Pizza. Today, Domino's Pizza has 60 to 70% of their delivery through their own channel and own relationship. Whereas all the other aggregators put together is 30%, and they pay the least commission to Zomato and Swiggy.
Yes.
The reason, because Zomato and Swiggy knows that Domino's Pizza can survive without them.
Absolutely.
So they have a shop floor, they have a mechanized process, they have a very, what should I say, standardized menu, but still they maintain the relationship. Still they hold the relationship with the customer, and that gives them that margin. So any restaurateur listening to this, please build your own relationship with your customer.
Yeah, Sameera, just to add to it, I was for one did a pilot test with a bank, and where I was handling customer relations externally to a bank.
Okay.
Okay. So means they had given me a set of 200 customers. I had to maintain the relationship. What was happening was everything was damn good, but all major decision making is still with the bank. So if I'm good, then what's the point of externalizing the whole equation? You know, customer relationship means it has to be happy, unhappy solved there and then. So that's the whole thing.
I think that's us. And Aslam, is there anything that you would also like to add to this?
Yeah, I think, it really is a hybrid situation that I think things will be. I mean, if you look at other industries like the airline industry or the hospitality in the hotel industry, there are, we know of apps or all the Make My Trips and the booking.coms and so on and so forth. There's always been backlash with them as well. But I think finally what's going to happen is we will find some level playing ground, and this animosity will continue forever. And as far as the question of database management is concerned, see, I started working in hotels several years ago. And ever since then till today, people who collect my date of birth or they collect my wedding anniversary or my kids, I've never ever, or rather maybe 1% or 0.5%, somebody got back to me in terms of, what they did with that birthday and anniversary thing. So with due respect to the fact that they should all do this database management, but I think restaurants and hoteliers are quite busy serving guests, and this is just another day. And I don't know with whatever chess beating we can do today, whether they will really be doing it still in the near future. And as far as Swiggy and Zomatos or any such aggregators are concerned, who created the enemy? We did it. I mean, I can tell you, I order from it, and as much as all of us on this panel may be ordering from them. And if we stop ordering from them, that's really when you're sending out a message that, hey, we don't need you. But we 10 people may stop it, but the world is not stopping, because today the customer is disloyal. The customer wants the next deal, whether it's on XY platform, ZY platform, whatever it is. So that's the reality of the game today. And that's what the restaurant is trying to fight for, is trying to fight for that little mind of share of that customer saying, hey, I'm also here, please buy from me. And if there is no excitement, customers, today it's all a computer, a mobile screen. That's all it takes to get somebody off your eyes. It's not, you're not standing at someone's door. So one has to be very practical about where we are. And we cannot wish anything away, because we made the monsters ourselves. That's all it is.
Yeah, and also it depends what relationship you want to maintain. So there are students who have relationship with discounts. Absolutely. There are people like me who like to be recognized when we walk in. So it all depends on what is the relationship that you want. That's it.
So I think Vivek ji, Rajat, Aslam ji, Chef Selvaraju sir, Raunak, I think it's a very, very interesting discussion. We can keep having this discussion because this is a constantly changing industry. But Josh, from your perspective, you've been listening to all of them, and you're a young man. You're just in college. Hopefully,
so are we. Yeah, we are also young. How dare you?
But he's younger than us. So thank you so much for your wonderful insights. We spoke about the past, we spoke about the present, we also spoke about the future. If you think about it, and it's very interesting the kind of insights we've got from all of you. And before we leave, we've got a very interesting surprise for all of you. We wanted to show you this. This is a new property we have under the SFactor Talk Show. And this is about a show which is coming up on the 6th of August. And we are doing this with CEOs. And Sameera, you want to play that poster? So this is with Apramey Radhakrishna. He's a CEO of Kundu. And very interesting man. We are looking forward to interact with him and get more out of him on Friday. We would love to invite you also for the session. We'll send out the Zoom details in the next few days, but that's what we're looking at. And and it looks like a very flashy poster, and we're looking forward to getting him on board and talking to him and understanding what makes Kundu tick, and not Twitter, that is. Yeah, Sameera.
Gentlemen, it's been an absolute delight to hear you all speak, to share insights, and to also know what drives you all forward. Because I think each and every one of you panelists here who have come today on board to this, session comes with great experience, expertise, and a very unique flavor. And I think that we believe is the magic of the food industry. Diverse, flavorful, colorful, and very eventful as well. On this note, we would like to thank all of you for being here. We do continue to patronize all that you're doing with the S Factor because it's bringing like minded influences together. Please know that whatever you have said reaches out to the education community, to the corporates at large, to the public, and to the media here who hear insights from you all. So always stay tuned for our weekly show on the S Factor. And once again, on behalf of Shekhar, Vijayan, and myself, we wish you all a wonderful, fruitful, and magical discovery as we move our, our nation forward towards bright and great prospects. Over to you.
Sameera, we're not done as yet. Very quickly.
Happy New Year.
Very quickly. One word from everyone about one word which describes S Factor for you. Raunak, we'll start with you.
It's a difficult one. I haven't heard the other episode, so
You heard this episode, no?
I think it's enchanting.
I like that word. Aslam ji, what about you?
The Sameera and Shekhar factor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vivek Saab.
Sex factor.
Oh my God, family audience here. Rajat's mom is listening. Rajat.
Dynamic.
Yeah, Rajat, go for it.
Dynamic and engaging.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chef Selvaraju, sir.
I would like to change is diversity.
Diversity, yeah. Selvaraju, sir. Sir is on mute.
Chef doesn't like you, he's
The
gone.
smile factor.
The smile factor.
I'm sure he's going to say that. Keep smiling.
I think we might just have to lip read.
Absolutely.
Josh, what about you?
The next factor, because it's the next big thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. On that joshful note, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. It's been wonderful talking to all of you. You all are very enterprising, very versatile. Thanks, Sameera.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you so much. It was lovely. Thank you.